So I've got an interesting Bitcoin price prediction here for you. This is not coming from your usual source, and it has an interesting twist to it. So I promise this will be interesting for you to learn about because this is a completely new path or trail that could open up that we could see Bitcoin hitting $1 million by 2028, which quite frankly is faster than any other path that I have seen, because most people are calling for Bitcoin to hit $1 million by 2030 and kind of beyond that. So I promise this is interesting and we're going to jump into this. So Bitcoin right now is up about 2%. The overall market is up a little bit, about 2% right there. And we still have Bitcoin dominance at 62% and holding. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's jump into this. Okay, so Arthur Hayes. So if you don't know who Arthur Hayes is, he's the CEO of BitMEX. And he is extremely smart individual, has come out with some very interesting predictions as well as kind of his view of the market. And he is saying that if capital controls are put into place, I'll explain to you what capital controls are here in a minute, it will propel Bitcoin to $1 million by 2028. Okay. So we're not talking about, ETFs, which is usually what we're talking about as a way for a massive amount of capital influx coming into Bitcoin. It's the ETFs or institutional adoption. We talk about institutional adoption a lot here on this channel and crypto in general, but because of looming capital controls. Okay. So what he basically is saying, he said, is that the US will impose financial restrictions on foreign investors, thus triggering a flight from traditional assets into Bitcoin and gold. So what Arthur is kind of is discussing here is right now we meaning the presidency and the government is doing tariffs, right? He goes on to say, and we'll get back to that article in a minute, that that's not really politically sustainable. And so what he's saying is that there could be another path that whereby if the current government, Trump, all that, instead of or a switch at some point in the near future from tariffs in one way or the other to restricting foreign countries and foreign investors from investing or taxing them on investing in the United States, it would compel them to potentially look at, hey, I don't want to be taxed, but by investing in those type of American assets. In fact, instead, I'm going to invest in, say, gold, or I'm going to invest in Bitcoin as an investment vehicle, which is really interesting. I hadn't really thought of this, and so this is kind of what kind of got my attention on this. Is he's talked about this. So he basically talked about how Bitcoin would hit seven figures due to a combination of treasury buybacks, bond market panic, and so-called monetary detonation, pushing institutions into Bitcoin. So this is a new thesis. This was a previous one. I apologize. So he's talking about a radical policy shift that would see the Trump administration switch from tariffs to taxing foreign holdings of stocks, bonds, and real estate to rebalance trade deficits. According to crypto analysts, the result will be a seismic capital rotation into assets like Bitcoin. And he even goes on to say that you might see more flow into Bitcoin than, say, gold, because Bitcoin is frictionless, right? You can just buy it and then there's no friction in that. Okay, so foreign capital repatriation and the devaluation of the gargantuan stock U.S. Treasuries will be two catalysts to power Bitcoin to $1 million sometime between now and 2028. He contends that tariffs are politically unstable and are ultimately going to drive higher consumer prices. I don't know if you saw this. Walmart came out just the other day. And in fact, let me see if it's still on the homepage of Yahoo. It was the lead story here for the last day or so. It's not here anymore. But Walmart's come out and has basically said, we are no longer going to be able to absorb all these tariffs. Okay, so yeah, you're going to have to pass on the price increases to the consumer. Okay, so he warned, okay, that the move would destabilize $33 trillion foreign held U.S. debt and equity market. That's massive. So he said, and so that may be, will President Trump and his administration do that? I mean, it could destabilize that $33 trillion foreign held U.S. debt and equity market. It would send the stock market, it would send it down. Okay. He stated that as capital flees, the Federal Reserve would then be forced to restart the quantitative easing, uh, basically lowering the interest rate to suppress bond yields and prop up asset prices. The interesting thing about what you're seeing there is a battle between President Trump and the Fed. He wants them to lower rates. So he use this taxation of foreign held assets as a way to capitulate or move down that $33 trillion foreign held US debt and equity market. Yeah. Wouldn't put it past Trump. I wouldn't put it past the man. He would be willing to do that as a manipulation move and a move to move the market and move them to doing something. Okay. So this is something that's out there. So it's interesting. I thought this was a really interesting by implementing capital controls. Could this happen? What do you think? I want to hear from you. What's your thoughts? I mean, do you think that this is something that could happen? It is simply another path to $1 million. This is outside of ETFs. This is outside of institutional investment, things of that nature. This is really intriguing. And I would not say that this could not happen, meaning it could. I realize that was a double negative. This could be something that we see play out. So I have to give Arthur a little bit of credit here. This is a pretty interesting take on something that we could see. All right. Hey, if you're interested, there's a link down in the description below. Check out BTCC. They have a 10% first-time bonus on first-time deposits. And they have a lot of other things, extra bonuses up to 10,000. If you use my link, you get all of this. You see here, there's a link down there that says BTCC. Check them out. This is an exchange that's been around for 14 plus years. They have leverage, they have futures, they have everything you want. And I've been using them myself. I'm about to start to show you guys some of the trades I'm doing over there, but check it out. Links down there if you want to give them a look. Okay. So appreciate you giving me a few minutes. As always, I'll see you. Have a good one. Bye.